Hello, boys and girls. My name is Cole Yoshi. Welcome back to my 200% walkthrough of Metroid Prime Remastered for the Nintendo Switch 2. There we go. We got that done. Hope you guys are ready because this is going to be probably the toughest part in the whole game right here. This whole area is really hard to traverse usually, and it's not very safe because it has the most dangerous enemies in the entire game. Only one sort of equal to par to this area is the final area. Jeez, I cannot speak correctly. We have to deal with lots of baddies, including mega turrets and all sorts of bad stuff. They're all pretty dangerous. We have quite a few ways to deal with them, however, this time. I am not about ready to deal with multiple of them, so we're gonna just do a super missile, which just deletes them both. I think casually you're supposed to go through here and disable them midway through, but we're not doing that. Instead, we're doing the fun way. First, we're going to get some shadow pirates. Now we're in a much trickier area. We may want to save our missiles for later on. We can't even missile half of these enemies anyways. So yeah, this area could basically be called the gauntlet of enemies, because we're very much just fighting enemy after enemy after enemy, and this time around we're going to be mostly just shooting them normally here and doing all sorts of stuff. For the most part, there's not a good way to do this area fast. We just have to kind of take it slow and get through it all just fine. And up here, we're going to get a cutscene which will introduce us to our first really tough enemy of the whole game. Besides the bosses, the wave troopers. They're really annoying because if you don't have the wave buster, they're quite annoying. And we can see in their weakness app, it says we cannot even hit them. They are vulnerable to all other beam types except for just the wave beam. I mean, there's nothing missiles can do either. So it's the first enemy in a while that is actually completely immune to missiles. Being our fastest method to take them out is just keep shotting them until they're gone. And then later on, we're going to find some more types of them. Thankfully, we only had to face 3 that time, but we will have to face more later. Okay, next area is where we're going to get the logs. Put on my thermal visor, because there's more of these invisible shadow pirates to take out. Oh, it's ice beam required. Now, for some reason, they just have the regular pirates again. I don't know why sometimes they just downsize to these regular pirates. Times not much else happens. Alright. Here's our pirate data, and then the second one of these is what actually activates the platform system to get up top. Alright. So yeah, because the enemies do a lot of damage here, we're pretty much just forced to tap the ball one at a time here. Got the platform systems active again. I think that's a trap one, and scanning that makes them attack us early. I don't know. Then that, it's kind of a weird joke, because you think it would be a secret, but it's not really. We get plenty of chances to attack these power chairs, by the way. So we could still scan one later if we need to. We need to go all the way over to get this. So the trick here is there's a missile, but to get it, we have to first destroy these spots around the map. And we only need to destroy these two because these are where our missile and other expansions are hiding. But it can be quite tough to line up this beam correctly to actually get it to work. Thankfully, we did it pretty quickly. And yeah, we needed to use that because that was the only way to get this missile expansion over here. Now we're going to head back. And this time we're going to spin it until it basically faces straight on. I think that's enough for us. Right now we do this again. And this should open the door, and now we can actually continue on to the next room. Again, we're going to get more chances, though, to get that power trooper, so I'm not too worried that I missed it. There are plenty of them in this area, after all. So now, out of research, we have to do elite control access. There's only the one log here this time, but this will have most of the remaining logs. This is the other pirate base, by the way, I guess I should have mentioned. The much tougher of the two. Alright. Okay, thankfully this one's pretty easy to get now. Okay, so this one, we're supposed to, like, jump down this whole side thing and a bunch of other stuff. We're just gonna yeet ourselves down instead. Take a bit of damage, but it's actually pretty worth it. Skipping the entire area as a result. Now, yeah, see, now we have to deal with them. And we're gonna use our power beam this time. Or we're not going to use the power beam, because this is one of the few enemies that is actually vulnerable to missiles, because the super missiles count as a power beam combo, so we could just use that on them instead. Go flying whenever we do so. Other than that, though, yes, we got the power trooper down. By the way, there is also another secret enemy we have to defeat, but it's actually invisible. So much so that it cannot even be scanned. It's mostly just there to troll you, but in reality, it's actually a stealth version of the sentry drone. Imagine if they did make you scan it, then it would technically be an impossible scan, as you wouldn't be able to get it otherwise. So we need to go up these two areas, because that's the only way to get to the next area. Other than that, though, as you might have guessed, this is the biggest area we have to deal with. And it takes a long time to get through. As we go, more and more enemies ambush us. And we don't get a save point until after we unlock our next upgrade. So it's our priority number one to get that. Okay, this one we can actually just do a safety strat for. Just blow these guys up. Okay, never mind. We'll have to just fall down through here. We ended up taking a lot of damage anyway. Ultimately, we'll just usually want to fall there faster, but otherwise not much to do. We don't want to be next to these veins as they will explode and probably damage us if we're not careful. Ah, here we go. Just took a while to get to, but yeah, here's a nice secret. You go in here and blow open this door with a missile. That gets you a missile expansion, but you also notice the pirates just kind of die. Because that Soja just completely takes out 2 pirates that are hiding there. It's just nice. Okay, we got 2 data here, but we're not going to be able to get too much more because we actually have to face sort of a mini-boss now. Actually, it is a mini-boss. In the form of the Elite Pirate. There's also, like, a couple of things we could scan on it, but ultimately we want this. Elite Pirates are potent foes. Their energy siphon system absorbs beam weapon shots. The nature of the system makes it vulnerable to concussive waste weapons. Well armed, the Elite Pirate is effective in close combat at a distance. Their rest of size can be a weakness, but their sluggish speed allows for evasion and quick attacks. The easiest way to usually get them to do something is to actually go a bit closer to them, where occasionally they'll do their other secret. So this mob looks a bit tougher, but it's actually weaker than it is. It just takes 3 shots of our super missiles to defeat, pretty much exactly like the other enemies. As it was a boss, we will check what it's like afterwards. Before we do anything, we need to go up here, though. We'll also find yet another new enemy. Oh. The Ice Trooper. Which we now have to scan. Don't think this one is vulnerable to our missiles, unfortunately. So we have to take it out normally. It takes a while. And now we get to scan everything. There's a lot of pirate data here. I think the game mentions there's like 3 pirate data here or something like that. As you can see, they're pretty fast too, so they can evade a lot of our attacks if we're not careful. Okay, nothing here from the looks of it. But over here, we're gonna find a lot more secrets. So yeah, if you wondered where a lot of the pirate data was, well, it was right here, actually, this whole time. There's a majority of it is in Phazon mines. So there's a total of 3 logbook entries on the lower floor. Because I do get worried if I miss one, I will go ahead and check these again just to make sure I got them all, which I did. And then there's a total of 5 pirate logs up top. Like I said, most of the majority of the logs were found here in the Phazon mines. Alright, now we just need to go up here and to another secret area, which is actually gonna kind of throw us into a little bit of a trap right now. Maybe we don't need to do anything about it right now, but later on we will have to come back here. The specific upgrade. I like the narrator here. It warns us that that's poison gas, so we should probably get out of there, which we did safely. Other than that, though, the most important thing is we got the ice troopers and some other secrets. I'm mostly just making sure I got everything. Okay, there's actually nothing until the next upgrade, so we'll be fine now. We can't go over there because we need a power bomb to do that anyway, so now it's just the same old story, really. Which is just going to be firing some of the enemies. I will say, this area more often than not really helps you figure out that you're probably going to want to use cover for some of these tougher fights, because otherwise you just take a lot of damage, and it's just really hard to do anything. So, yeah, also we can snipe these guys down from the other 4 if we jump as we're attacking. They do eventually attack us, but because trouble reaching us from the bottom 4, it's not that hard to deal with. The game doesn't tell us, but there's another logbook entry here, apparently. The guide doesn't show that. Oh wait, I see though. Oh wait, there is a log for that. It'll just be 1. By the way, if you look at the logbook, it actually references one of the next bosses we have to fight, which is probably going to be one of these pirates over here, but we don't know otherwise. Let's keep going. We scan certain things. We'll see that there's elite pirates in them. That might become important later on. Alright, here we go. Alright, so this is the spot where I mentioned where the invisible drone appears. You can't step on top. We can't really scan or lock on to this enemy. The only hint that you know where it is the red eyes that it has. Thankfully, it is just a drone. The tricky part is that it's invisible and you're not supposed to see it, but apparently in this version of the game, yeah, you could just do that. Because apparently it's so bright it lets you see where it is. Also, this is another chance to get the lock system, but as you might guess, that's probably the joke part of this area. This is the really tough part of this whole area, and that actually kind of makes me most nervous, is navigating this morph ball puzzle, because if you're too fast, you'll take a lot of damage and probably die if you're not careful. In fact, the maze isn't even directly completable right away. To get it to actually complete, we need to destroy these little blockers located around, which lets us slowly but surely destroy the gate that's blocking the area. Actually, once we do enough, we'll be able to eventually collect the power bombs in the middle. I don't really know the best way to grab this, so as you might have guessed, I just kind of follow the path I'm taking, it'll be fine. And yeah, it's actually not that bad, but it can be. It's more scary than it looks. You lose health really fast if you try and just rush it. I usually just play it safe and go for a no damage route, which thankfully I did perfect there. And now we finally get our last major upgrade, the power bombs, which we can now get expansions of, and there are 5 of those expansions to find. And 20 minutes later, we finally got a save point. It's about flipping time, man. This certainly takes a long time to get to. And now there's another secret tank we have to go through later now. There's actually quite a few different areas we can go to. Okay, so there's this secret area over to the side that we just saw on the right side area over here. Technically, there's actually a cutscene you're supposed to do now in order to get this stuff done. Here's what the power bomb does. Pretty cool. We are not actually going to go in this area at all. Not necessarily because I'm scared. That's because we actually need a different upgrade. The game actually mentions you probably should go in here and get the cutscene first, but nothing actually stops you from just leaving this area. Even more funny, this loop isn't over yet. We're actually going to be able to kind of do a little bit of a sequence break. The game actually expects us to do another upgrade before we do this one, but nothing's stopping us from just getting this upgrade literally right now. Of course, on our way out, we're going to have to face one of these doofuses again. As you can see, this is not the only elite pirate we have to face. We have to face quite a few of them, just like the others. We pretty much just have to react to wherever it drops its guard. If you don't do that, it'll just absorb the attack. Okay. That guy can still scan after it's dead. This is mostly just making sure we scanned out. That's actually what I wanted to do instead of scanning it. There are plenty of elite pirates around, but what's different is... Oh, I'm joking. They're actually not plenty. In fact, they are very much limited. And there's a copy of one now, so that we only get one entirely. We can actually get this literally right now, though, if we choose to. And we'll probably do it the next time we're in the area. Anyways, there's our elite pirate. That's a scan percent done. As you might have guessed, yeah, we're gonna just rush through this now. There's no secrets here now. If we do a secret setup, though, we can see that there's clear air flowing in this Bedesium grate. So now we're going to go for the poison. If we go here, we can see that we can just scan this, and the ventilation controls get restored. I'm pretty sure you could probably get the tank. Oh, wait, no. You need this, because this is the only way to get to the energy tank. Never mind. So, yeah, we needed to do that, because now we get another energy tank. What a shocker. It's like we're getting a lot. We should now be at a total of 10 energy tanks. It's kind of hard to count them all, though. They're so small and tiny. I think we actually have an extra one, though, I think, from somewhere else. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure we have all the ones we need. So, that's looking correct. I don't think we've missed any. We only have 3 energy tanks left. Other than that, back into the gauntlet we go. This time we're seeing more of the shadow pirates, so back to our combo again. Unlike before, however, we can try using the super missiles this time against them, as they are no wave troopers, so that's nice. Anyway. We'll just ignore these guys and keep moving back. There's actually a couple of different secrets we could take. There's actually a whole nother area we'll be able to take soon. But now we can get this. Okay, thankfully the game does recognize this. One of our other routes was actually really slow and said that you can just basically go and get... You have to get the X-ray and then go all the way back here. Okay, now we get to use the power bombs to get that down. We still haven't found the power bomb upgrade for some reason. Okay, I guess we'll scan this while we're here. Oh, I just realized we had entered the wrong way, but that's fine. We're kind of just panicked because we wanted to get out of that area as soon as possible. But to be fair, that worked out. We got our power bomb ammunition scanned now. Oh, actually, we weren't too far off. But in reality, we need to go this area. We're going to do our loose ball strategy, though, to skip these guys since they are only shadow pirates. They're not as bad. Now we have our power bombs, we can also fight back against them a little bit. Other than that, though, we are going to want to farm at least a couple of power bombs, because one of the unlockables later requires it. Actually, a good amount of unlockables require it. A lot, in fact. Almost a lot of the Benesium, and even the power bomb upgrades themselves, require power bombs to unlock, so it's very important to stock up on these when we can. Otherwise, this time around, we are going to have to do this the intended path. So we're going to actually defeat these guys, because that makes it easier to go up. That one we could just do that for, and... yeah, now we have safe access. That other bomb booth, for some reason, is just really far out of the way. I don't know why. If we go back here now... there's no Metroids. I think normally there's supposed to be Metroids here, but because we skipped the cutscene, they're not here. Thankfully, we just barely remembered to get one of the power bombs. So now, from here, we just need to match this up to the other side, and then match up the other stuff afterwards. The only way to really check, though, is to look back here to see if that matches, which it does. And then we could just drop down to the lower layers to get that done. And this will get us our next upgrade, the grapple beam. Remember that useful upgrade I've been talking about a while? Well, now we're about to get that, too. It's very convenient. We get 2 upgrades at once. Unfortunately, we will have to leave this place for safety reasons, also because we need to grab an upgrade anyway, so may as well get it now. If you're really new at the game, you can actually see where all the invisible platforms are. I mean, you can actually beat the entire game without this visor I'm about to pick up, which is, of course, the X-ray. Originally, in other games, it was optional, but here, it's usually mandatory. But if you know where you're going, you can actually just get it done anyways. Oh, hang on. We don't even have power bombs. Because we did that setup inefficiently, we don't actually have enough power bombs to get this done. I have a solution, though, to it. We're going to have to go out here and kill some enemies and hope they drop power bombs. We got really unfortunate luck, honestly, that we didn't get any power bombs right away. Usually they drop a lot more, but we didn't get them. So because of that, we have to go back here. Ideally, we would just get 2 or 3 right there, but we didn't get any of them. So instead, now we're back here. We'll just do the free charge shot strategy against these guys. See if they drop a power bomb. Oh, I see one. I think I see one. Yeah, that's a power bomb drop. Okay, good. We didn't have to wait too long, actually. All I really need is 1 power bomb, and then we can do this part. So, really, we were just punished because we simply did not have any power bombs. I think that's one of the only times I've been unable to do something because I simply did not have enough currency of the items There are ways to get it done. Normally, if you go into the outer side area, you can farm stuff. But again, there's no reason to really trigger that cutscene. So you kind of just want to take out everything and hope that something drops power bombs. But unfortunately, we didn't get enough. Barely. And so, yeah. But now we have enough to go in here, finally. Which will give us our... probably one of our last major upgrades we'll collect in this whole game, which is the grapple beam. And now we can pretty much go around and collect everything. We can even go and get another very powerful beam now that we have this. We could technically wait and then also get this other stuff later, but why would we? It's kind of silly. And here we go! A new extra has been unlocked. And now we just scan this to get our research done for this, and that should be all the research logs completed. More importantly, though, this opens up a nice shortcut, which will take us straight back to where we need to be. On the other side here, we can scan to make this crane flip over here. It doesn't actually give us a normal access point. However, it does give us a grapple point, which is really helpful now. So if we want to, we can just fly across. I am, however, not going to do that. In fact, I'm going to skip all these pirates. The ones here are only normal, so they don't do nearly as much damage as the big pirates we found earlier. So since we went through all that, we may as well save. This area is really massive, and you lose a lot of time if you die here. But it's also by far the hardest area to navigate. I said, lots of tough stuff going around. There is another secret we can get. I, however, am not going to do it because I think this isn't a fast way to do this route. So instead, we're just going to leave. That other secret area we were in earlier, though, with that big upgraded area, with, like, that big wide room in Phazon Mines, that's actually an area you have to go for upgrades later, and is yet another way we can get into Phazon Mines. We, however, will not go to that yet, because it's not on our route. And so it's finally time to leave this place, headed all the way back to Talon Overworld, where we're actually going to immediately acquire another upgrade now. Yep, we're not done collecting upgrades. By the way, this is going to trigger this dialogue will trigger every time we have to do this part. But anyways, now we have the power bombs, we can actually go through and do stuff. We still need to farm them up, however. We're hoping at least something drops power bombs. After all, we don't have any right now. The only other way to get them back more safely is to literally run all the way back to the ship and then fuel from there. Because power bombs aren't like the normal source. You can only get those from other secrets if we keep getting missiles. Not every enemy drops power bombs, though, so it can be quite tricky to figure out which ones drop power bombs and which ones don't. Oh, finally. I was about to say, I hope I don't have to respawn the whole room. You may have to do that if you get really unlucky. I don't know what it is today, but I'm having just like the worst luck in the world. I haven't even gotten a single... It took me that long to get a single power bomb drop. Ideally, you just get it right away and we don't have to do other stuff. Okay, that was cool. We just skipped that whole platform. By the way, there's still some secrets we could have gotten. We chose not to get them, though, because we need to have power bombs at the ready for our fiends. Like this. Surprise, surprise. Almost everything requires power bombs. And here's another missile expansion. This is a really tough missile expansion. The last time I did this, it took me several tries to get it. So I'm just gonna get up there on my first try just because I can. The trick to this one is you don't want to move too fast or else you're gonna end up messing up. I think what you're supposed to learn here is you need to basically wait until as long as possible before you actually release your boost ball dash. Otherwise, you probably will not get anything. But anyways, now we're gonna go straight in here. After that. And just like that, we already have the X-ray visor. It's honestly not that far out of the way, to be fair. And, now after gosh who knows how long, we're finally going to get an upgrade. And we'll see that, we can't, go out of the secret room yet, but the game does spawn us enemies, and for some reason, in this one area and one area alone, I believe they only drop power bombs. I think this is supposed to be a hint that you're supposed to go through. And then if you scam this, it says large traces of Bedesium detected. And whenever it says that in the scan logbook, that means we can use a power bomb and go through. We are going to wait, however, because as you noticed, we had very little power bombs going into here. I do not want to risk losing them all again, so we're just going to use this free spawning set of enemies. It's the only time in the game where you can basically guarantee you get these power bombs, and then from here, I believe you actually have to use another set. Oh, no, okay, never mind. You just use bombs here. And that opens up a secret hole, which if you then go in here and spin around... After gosh who knows how long, we finally get an upgrade. Finally get our first non-linear artifact. We need to collect all of these to finish the game anyways, but this is the first one we finally got that isn't the first one. This is the artifact of Chozo. This actually says it's the 7th out of 12. Yeah, it's the second one we attained in this route. I believe there's also another hidden secret in here, because back in the... a secret hall, that'll be a secret. By the way, my vein is telling me that there's like a secret somewhere else, but that's not the case. Okay, that was just a test if I could skip over there, but I can't. Time to do this the somewhat long way. Ugh. Well, actually, somehow I almost made it there. I actually wanted to try bomb jumping for fun there. Okay, I'm guessing, yeah, okay, the game just gets you stuck there. I was figuring you could probably jump off of that and skip this. Other than that, though, what a shocker. We have to use the Morph Ball puzzle because we have to do the space jump beam. But we're not actually out of the woods yet. Yeah, I don't think they want us to leave yet at all. In fact, yeah, we can't. Because now these ghosts are here. For some reason, they teleport us back here. Thankfully, this time we have the advantage because we can see where they freaking are. But other than that, as you can see, they are very annoying because every single hit they do, they stun you for a few seconds. And unlike before, you will never be able to skip them anymore. But this time we have the advantage because we have the X-ray visor. This lets us see exactly where they are, so it's no longer RNG where they appear. It's more RNG how often they attack. Unfortunately, this probably is one of the trickier ones because we kind of are forced to fight on this really narrow platform, which we just now fell off of. I'm not surprised. It's such a small area you have to fight them on, and it's so easy to just fall off. And of course, they can cheat and just go in the walls for no reason or another. But yeah, we had to get rid of them all because there's no way we would have gotten out of the area. So it was the only way to get back. It says this is the Great Treat Chamber, but in reality it's called the Life Grove, apparently. Oh wait, I know why this is being weird, because in that other area we saw before, we can now go to a completely different area entirely now. Like how we still haven't hit another save point for a while, but to be fair, that's to be expected here. Okay. Hopefully roll back in here. Okay, that time we got through that much faster. The first time I did this in a while, I kind of forgot what to do. I have to say, it took a while to get through this. Oh. Oh wait, we have to be further down. Okay, I probably should take out these enemies first before I do anything else. I was about to say, are we gonna just make this jump? It should have been that hard, you know. But anyway, we're getting another missile expansion. Surprise, surprise. There are a lot of these in this game. Pretty soon we'll be probably caught up to where we need to be in missiles. We're already at 91% scan percent done too, so we're almost done with that. That just shows you how little we have left now. But now's the tricky part. Where we have to go back to Chozo Ruins. As if we haven't explored the first area in the whole game enough, we now have to go back there again. This time through this area. And shocker, it feels like we've had to do this a lot of times now. No, we didn't fight a boss, so there's no worry of checking if that one's taken out, but there is one missable we did beat for recently, and that's, of course, the Elite Pirates themselves. So, back to this area we go. Thank goodness for this shortcut to just go straight through the aim area without having to actually go through Chozo Ruins. Otherwise, this would take forever. Alright, we could technically end it here, but I don't know if I want to show the boring moving around or other secrets, because there's actually going to be a whole nother secret area we can now take. Now we have the ice beam. We didn't get to do this before, but now we can do this. Although, where does this go again? To the other side of town. I think it's probably actually faster to go here. Because we want to go to the magma pool first via the rune fountain, but that would take forever to get through here. So instead, we're just going to go to the other elevator. I was initially thinking of stopping at that missile station, but then I decided against it. Okay, back here. And for this secret. One of the biggest difference now is we are able to actually go over these side spots we weren't able to grab before. We were really far down that time though, so we couldn't actually grab it. Oh my gosh. The game will actually let me grab this thing. There we go. Jeez. So yeah, now we have the grapple beam. We can kind of soar on those beams now we weren't able to do before. Considering how many skips this game fixed, especially scan dashing, we definitely need the grapple beam to get around, so it's nice that we have it now. And yes, I decided to go this way because I think navigating for chosen runes, you normally have to actually go through several runes, and it's slightly slower to do it that way than this way we're about to do it. So, now we finished this part of the game. Unfortunately, this also begins probably the longest section of the game. By that, I mean, now we have the power bombs. Almost everything is open to us, except the obvious one, which is the magma beam doors, which technically we could skip all this setup and just go and get the magma beam the plasma beam right now, but we're not going to do that because I want to follow this guide to a T. I guess I should have mentioned, my guide that I'm using is on the Nintendo Life website, if anybody is wondering which one I'm using. So this guide is mostly based off of this, but also adding in some extra secrets and particularly getting scans and some occasional items early, mostly just for safety. Anyways, there we go. We finally got our second real artifact after gosh who knows how long, and because of our secret stuff, we are now only missing one more higher data, but we won't see that again until we head back to the Phazon mines. Other than that, the Impact Crater one, which is the one I missed before in my previous playthrough, I got now, so that's good. And then, going through Chills of War, we still have the usual one left, but this is actually going to be gotten in our next episode, so that will be fine. And now for creatures, we are much more filled out now that we have the enemies from the Phazon mines now. A good majority of the ones we are missing, to be fair, were in the mines. And we're about to get a couple of new ones in these other areas now that we weren't able to get to earlier. Unfortunately, this part that we're about to begin is also one of the longest sections, because after you get the secret done, there's not a lot left to get, really. So it's mostly going to be just going around, killing absolutely everything, making sure not to miss a single scan along the way, and then finally get all the artifacts before beating the final boss. I'm using the guide, so I will probably be able to get it done. But as you can see, though, yes, we have now completely filled out our research data, so we don't have to do that anymore. Chozo Lore and Pirate Data are now also one away from being finished, so pretty soon we'll have all those too. So mostly just artifacts and creatures we have left now. And there you have it, guys. So with 50% item completion, 57% item completion, that is, and 91% scan percent, we're going to end this episode. From the looks of it, as far as I'm aware, we did not miss anything important. So I will see you guys in the next video. Rate, subscribe for some more content. And I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye.